Back to the UK vote and whether or not they decide to leave the European Union tomorrow. Those in support of leave are citing growing concerns, including the major influx of migrants. I want to bring in Parliament member Liam Fox, a leading campaigner for the Leave campaign. Mr. Fox, in the last week or so, the shift in the polls and amongst bettors has gone to Remain. I'm not sure how much of that had to do with the sad death of Joe Cox, or how much of that is just last-minute deciders deciding they're more comfortable with the way things are. Why should they change? Why are they making a mistake?
I think that all through this campaign it's really been neck and neck, and I think it's going to end up neck and neck. There is a genuine divide amongst the British people about the direction of our future, whether it's best in the era of globalization to be flexible and agile, able to make our own laws and control our own borders and our own money, or whether we should be more closely tied with the European bloc. I want to leave because I think that a sovereign, free, independent nation is able to control all those things, laws and borders and money. And I think that the concept of a supranational body, which is increasingly centralized with big government, big taxes, more legislation and so-called harmonization, belongs firmly in the 20th century, not the 21st.
Well, to that point, the roots of the EU go back to, of course, to the Treaty of Rome, which was an attempt to sort of get the European nations to be able to consolidate their might, to consolidate their muscle. And while that goes back to the 1950s, the fact of the matter is that the continent is falling way behind. In the next 100 years, it looks like it would be the United States. It looks like it would be China. It would be some of these Asian tigers. How does the continent compete in a world that seems to be moving past it at a pretty rapid rate?
Well, again, one of the reasons that I want to leave is that economically the European Union is the slowest growing continent outside Antarctica. It is saddled with the catastrophe that is the euro. The single currency was never properly thought through. The wrong countries were allowed to join. The number one task facing the countries in the EU, especially in the Eurozone, is to de-risk the euro before it becomes a major contaminant of global financial security. It has huge impacts on the social problems in Europe. The social fabric in southern Europe is being torn apart. You're getting increasingly high levels of migration, especially of young people from southern Europe to the north, especially from Greece and Italy, Spain and Portugal. And there is no real economic future for those young people, and I want Britain to be apart from that. I think that staying in the European Union is the political equivalent of handcuffing ourselves to a building that's already been prepared for demolition.
You were at one point the former Secretary of State for Defense. Now, there's another element to this vote that doesn't get much press, but a lot of people are concerned about the security aspects of it, the future of a united Europe against not only against the rising threat and wave of terrorism, but traditional foes like a renewed, robust, and very aggressive Russia led by Vladimir Putin. People are saying that's another reason not to leave the EU.
I don't believe that to be so. I think our strength comes through NATO. I think what we have to have is a policy in the West in general, and certainly led by the United States, that stops the serial appeasement of Russia. Russia's behavior has been reinforced by the fact they had a cyber attack on Estonia. We did nothing. They invaded Georgia. We did almost nothing.
Right.
They annexed Crimea. We did almost nothing. It's a NATO issue here, and the worry, I would think, from an American perspective,
right,
is the fact that there are a number of people in Europe who've always seen the NATO as a block to their ever closer union plans for Europe because it denies them that political space. And I want NATO to continue to be the bedrock of our support, not an underspending European Union.
The Right Honourable Dr. Liam Fox, thank you very much. Really appreciate your time this morning.